just lengthen through the legs, lengthen through the arms, get the shoulders away from the ears. If you're struggling with your neck, if you are a little bit round-shouldered, you might find that your head is a little bit like this because you can't get the shoulders down. Fold a towel, a small towel, and put it under your head so it just makes it a little bit more comfortable for your neck. Otherwise, just draw your chin to your chest to get that length through the neck. So quite simply, this is neutral position. But I want you to just lie here and breathe normally. We'll go into deep breathing in just a moment. Breathe normally and just start to get a feel for how your body is set up. So ideal posture, perfect posture. This is where your body is perfectly balanced. So all the muscle groups are doing their fair share of the work. And it's where your spine is correctly aligned. Your ear, your shoulder, your hip and your ankle are all lined up together. Much easier lying down than it is when you're standing up. You'll feel around the pelvic area, you're going to feel that you are resting on the sacrum, the back of the pelvis, and you will notice that you have some space between the waist and the mat. And that's normal. That is your lumbar curve. Some will have a bigger curve than others, but whatever you've got there, just keep it as you continue to breathe. Okay, now when you're in a good neutral position and your posture is good, breathing is much easier. And breathing, good breathing, correct breathing, activates your core muscles. So without even having to do anything, you can actually work your core muscles. But they'll only work if you've got space to breathe. And when you're in a good neutral position and your posture is correctly aligned, you've got lots and lots of space and openness to breathe. So, deep abdominal breathing. When you're ready, I want you to breathe and allow your belly, your ribs and your chest to expand. And as you exhale, you'll feel how everything contracts and sinks back down. Now, don't worry about the abdominal muscles for the moment. I just want you to make sure that you are breathing. So use your hand, breathe into the belly, feel your belly rise. And just to make sure that you are breathing into the torso fully, place your hands on your ribs, middle finger touching, and as you inhale, your fingers should come apart, and as you exhale, they'll come back together. Make sure your chest is rising as well. And just keep it going like that before we start contracting the abdominal muscles. Now later on we'll be using thoracic breathing, which is breathing into the rib cage, because deep abdominal breathing interferes with your core contraction, which you're going to need for the 10 exercises I give you. Now, I want you to inhale fully, feel the belly rise, feel the body expand. As you exhale and feel the belly sink, I want you to draw up the pelvic floor. And as you draw up the pelvic floor, maybe not today, maybe next week, but you will start to feel a contraction deep down across the lower belly. These are your core muscles, the transversus abdominis muscles, as well as the pelvic floor, internal obliques and multifidus. Now, to really help you activate those muscles, as you exhale, we're going to say, ha, and that will give you a stronger sense of contraction. Now, before we go any further, if any of you are struggling with your back, with your legs straight, just put your hands between the waist and the mat, if that's okay for your shoulders. Go ahead and bend your knees. And if you can, keep your hands there, because I don't want you to lose neutral position. So your back is just resting on your hands, maintaining your lumbar curve. So, when you're ready, inhale fully. Ha! Inhale fully. Ha! So just keeping your legs in tabletop is actually quite challenging when you first come to doing these Pilates exercises. This is our starting position now. It's called toe taps, but we may well not be able to tap the ground to start with. So Inhale to prepare, using your hands if you need to. As you exhale, you start to move your foot towards the ground. As soon as you feel as though your back is going to arch, then you've gone too far. Bring it back a little, find your range, come back to the beginning. So the first few repetitions are all about finding your range. As you exhale, as soon as you feel any movement in your back, in the rest of the body, you've gone too far, bring it back a little, find your range. And then gradually, you get closer and closer to the ground until you are actually tapping the mat. Don't tap too far away. Keep your legs at 90 degrees, even less to start with. Especially if you're feeling a lot of pressure through the front of the thigh, you might want to start with your knees quite bent. So sometimes you feel, as you take your foot down towards the mat, you feel as though your shoulders and head are wanting to come up. Just pull back with the ribs, pull back with the belly, pull back with the navel. Check that your core muscles are engaged. So pelvic floor, transversus abdominis, internal obliques, multifidus spinae.